For centuries, ancient civilizations held powerful secrets to long life, practices rooted in nature, simplicity, and deep wisdom. While once thought of as folklore, modern science is now confirming just how effective these timeless habits truly are. Stay with us till the end for the most powerful longevity secret that could change how you live. And if you're passionate about living healthier, longer, and wiser, make sure to like and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Let's uncover the top 10 ancient longevity secrets that science finally confirms. 10. Herbal remedies and natural medicine. Ancient civilizations relied heavily on plants and herbs for healing. Chinese, Indian, Egyptian, and Native American traditions all developed rich systems of herbal medicine. Plants like turmeric, garlic, ginger, ginseng, and ashwagandha were used to treat a variety of ailments. These herbs weren't just randomly chosen. They were tested and passed down through generations. For example, turmeric was used in India as an anti-inflammatory, while ginseng in China was prized for its ability to boost vitality and fight fatigue. Despite lacking formal laboratories, ancient herbalists developed powerful remedies using only observation, trial, and deep knowledge of nature. 9. Spiritual practices, prayer, meditation, and gratitude. For centuries, people across the world have turned to prayer, meditation, and expressions of gratitude, not just for spiritual reasons, but as a way of maintaining inner peace and emotional balance. Ancient yogas, monks, and sages all emphasize the importance of controlling the mind, practicing stillness, and living with a grateful heart. Whether it was a Zen monk meditating for hours or an elder offering prayers at sunrise, these practices were a daily part of life, designed to cultivate humility, clarity, and calmness. Today, these same practices are being studied by neuroscientists and psychologists, and the results are striking. Meditation has been proven to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and even change brain structure by increasing gray matter in areas linked to focus and compassion. Gratitude journaling is associated with better sleep, reduced depression, and increased life satisfaction. 8. Physical movement, but not excessive. In ancient times, people didn't have gyms or workout routines, but they were constantly in motion. Farming, walking to markets, fetching water, tending animals, all involved natural functional movement. Unlike today's sedentary lifestyle, ancient life was physically demanding but balanced. There wasn't overtraining or performance obsession, just daily, moderate activity. This type of movement kept muscles strong, joints flexible, and weight under control without the need for intense exercise regimens. Modern research supports this kind of movement as being ideal for long-term health. Studies show that low to moderate intensity activity, done consistently, is more effective for longevity than high-intensity workouts that lead to burnout or injury. Walking, gardening, housework, and light strength training promote cardiovascular health, reduce inflammation, and enhance mobility well into old age. 7. Intermittent fasting and smaller portions. Fasting and food restraint were deeply embedded in ancient cultures, often tied to religious or seasonal cycles. Whether through Ramadan, Lent, or Ayurvedic routines, people would periodically avoid food not just as a spiritual act, but as a way to give the body rest. Ancient people also didn't overeat. Meals were smaller, and food wasn't always available in abundance. Hunger was accepted as natural, and food was seen as medicine, not entertainment. 6. Community and social connection. Ancient communities were tightly knit. Families lived together, elders were respected, and people relied on each other for survival and support. There were regular gatherings, shared meals, storytelling, and deep connections built through shared work and rituals. Loneliness was rare because people were always surrounded by familiar faces and meaningful relationships. Emotional support and a sense of belonging were woven into daily life. Modern science has found that social bonds are just as important for health as diet and exercise. Studies show that strong relationships lower the risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, and even Alzheimer's. People who are socially active tend to live longer and report higher levels of happiness. 5. Sleep with the sun. In ancient times, people lived according to nature's rhythms. There were no artificial lights, smartphones, or late-night distractions. People would rise with the sun and rest shortly after sunset. This natural alignment with the day-night cycle, also known as the circadian rhythm, allowed the body to follow its biological clock, which governs hormone release, digestion, body temperature, and sleep cycles. It wasn't just a habit, it was a necessity, and it kept the body and mind in sync with nature. Modern science strongly supports this ancient lifestyle. Studies have shown that disrupting your natural sleep cycle, staying up late, using screens before bed, or sleeping during the day can increase the risk of obesity, diabetes, depression, and even cancer. On the other hand, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule aligned with the natural light-dark cycle improves hormonal balance, like melatonin and cortisol, boosts immune function, and enhances mental clarity. 4. Purpose and meaning in life. In traditional societies, people had a clear sense of role and purpose, especially elders. They weren't sent into isolation after retirement. They continued to teach, care for grandchildren, give advice, and lead community rituals. Having a purpose wasn't optional. It was part of identity and daily living. This purpose gave life meaning, reduced stress, and motivated people to stay active and engaged well into old age. 3. Clean, whole foods, no processing. Ancient diets were simple, seasonal, and based on fresh whole ingredients. People ate what they grew: vegetables, roots, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats like olive oil or ghee. There were no packaged snacks, sugary sodas, or synthetic additives. Meals were cooked at home, shared with family, and prepared using traditional methods like fermentation, slow cooking, and sun-drying, all of which preserved nutrients and supported digestion. Science now confirms that processed foods, high in refined sugar, salt, chemicals, and unhealthy fats, are directly linked to heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and obesity. In contrast, a diet rich in whole foods lowers inflammation, improves gut health, supports mental well-being, and slows the aging process. The Mediterranean diet and other traditional eating patterns are now recommended by doctors around the world, not because they're trendy, but because they reflect the ancient way of eating that naturally supports longevity. 2. Breathing clean air and living close to nature. In ancient times, people lived in natural environments, surrounded by trees, clean air, flowing water, and sunlight. Whether in forests, mountains, or deserts, they were in tune with nature's rhythms. Cities were smaller, pollution was minimal, and people spent most of their time outdoors. This close contact with nature was soothing for the mind and energizing for the body, offering clean oxygen, vitamin D from the sun, and mental peace. Today, we know the importance of these elements. Scientific studies show that exposure to green spaces and clean air reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and strengthens the immune system. Nature therapy, or forest bathing, a practice rooted in Japan, is used to treat anxiety and depression. Even short walks in a park improve mood and mental clarity. On the other hand, polluted air is now one of the leading global causes of death. Ancient people didn't have to think about detoxing. They lived detoxed, thanks to nature. 1. Balance in all things, the middle path. Perhaps the greatest wisdom of ancient civilizations was the emphasis on balance, not just in diet, but in emotions, work, rest, and relationships. Greek philosophers spoke of moderation. Chinese medicine taught the harmony of yin and yang, and Buddhism preached the middle way. Life wasn't about excess, it was about rhythm. Overindulgence, emotional extremes, or obsessive behavior were all seen as paths to illness. Balance was seen as the key to physical, mental, and spiritual health. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching.